That's right, I said I have Adrien Brody comic books. So we're diving into the Adrien Brody memorabilia now. Because movie posters are featured so prominently in the background of my channels, I thought I would show you the Brody collection of movie posters. Blonde. This is a Netflix film where Adrien played one of Marilyn Monroe's husbands. This is a fictionalized account, so they just call him the playwright, but he's Arthur Miller. This is The Brothers Bloom, The Brutalist, Cadillac Records. Now these are 11 by 17 inch, which are also called tabloid size. And what I have them in are these protectors. They're kind of like the little pockets you put trading cards in. They're just larger. And I have them on the wall with command strips that are Velcro. So I just pull down the little pocket thing, I switch out the poster and then put it back up. So that's how I do that. Some people had asked me about that, how I switch out my posters so easily and so often. Next up we have the Darjeeling Limited. This is Fantastic Mr. Fox. Now we have the French Dispatch of the Liberty, Kansas Evening Sun. I, of course, had to get the Julian Cadazio character poster. I'll probably get the actual movie poster later on as well. This is one version of the Grand Budapest Hotel with character pictures. And this one is what I guess you would call the official movie poster. Next up is Hollywoodland, one of my favorites of his and one of my favorite posters as well. I have two versions of King Kong. This is one I got more recently because I just like the action shot. I got this one at Universal Studios Hollywood in one of the gift shops. Midnight in Paris. I like that they used Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Night as kind of the basis for it. It's just a really cool look. This Predators poster my husband spotted while we were at a collectibles store in Reno, Nevada. But once I saw this version, I of course had to make it the one on the wall because, you know, Royce. Next up is Splice. I like how Clive/Adrien is kind of in slight shadow there. It's kind of ominous. I like that. This one is Summer of Sam. I like that it features the real articles from when the Son of Sam was at large. And last up we have The Village. This isn't the official movie poster, but it features Those We Don't Speak Of, so I wanted this one. Forgive my being uncomfortably close to you for this section, but I felt it was necessary to see everything. So this is the Brody book, which you may have noticed the spine of on the shelf. It has the create your own cover kind of thing, so I put in some movie tickets. There's 2 Brutalist and 1 French Dispatch at the moment. So the first section of this binder is Adrien's old headshots and resumes. You know, back from when he had to audition for stuff. This one, I believe, is probably the earliest one. Is that not the cutest headshot you've seen in your life? I think this is likely the earliest one because his only credit on here is Home at Last, performing as the amazing Adrien, professional magician at orphanages and children's birthday parties. It says here he holds the rank of brown belt in Taekwondo and participated in a martial arts tournament at Madison Square Garden. It says he's interested in photography, published several photographs in the Village Voice. At age 14, he had done all that? Dang, dude. All right. This one. This is from after The Boy Who Cried, B-word. So probably 92, 93, where he was using this one. This one includes King of the Hill, so it's around that era. What's funny about this one is in the back, it says his eyes are brown. It says hair/eyes brown. So I think somebody forgot to put /green or something after the brown. Either that, or he's been wearing color contacts for his whole career and we never knew. Dun, dun, dun. We have this one. His most recent credit on this resume is Bullet. Okay, we have this one. This is definitely a solo era photo. Indeed, it's on his more recent credits here. The top one says Old Time Lowdown, directed by Stephen K. So I'm guessing that was the working title for this one. And this is the last one I have. I don't know if there are any after this. I would assume so. I think he was still having to audition for stuff until probably Pianist era. The most recent credit on this one says Mario's Wedding, which would be The Undertaker's Wedding. I wanted to show you these. These are proofs from a photo shoot. So I just thought these were really cool. So yeah, it's basically several pages of different shots. Here's one where he's in a different outfit. I'll include a close-up. So while we're in the general area with the headshots, I thought I would show you basically stills from films that they use for press and things like that. So we have King of the Hill, where he played Lester. And on the back I have Angels in the Outfield. Adrien is in this group shot down here. Now I ended up with several from Ten Benny. Now Ten Benny has a couple of different titles. It's called Sweet Jersey or Nothing to Lose, depending on how far along in production it was. So this one says Nothing to Lose. And then this one says Ten Benny. This one's pretty cool, and it came with slides as well. And this one I really like. This is Adrien with Sybil Temption, who was his love interest in Ten Benny. Long-suffering girlfriend, actually. Now this is from Restaurant, his other Eric Bross film. Shout out to Eric Bross, who actually subscribes to this channel. That's my little claim to fame. Now we have The Thin Red Line. And you see poor Adrien down here smiling away with Woody Harrelson and Sean Penn, and he's thinking, wow, I am the star of a big war film. And then they cut his part down to, never mind. We'll have a video on that later. Next up we have Summer of Sam, which also came with some slides. And then there's this one, which is pretty cool. It's got the two main couples. We have this one from the scene where we learn Richie's last name is Trangali. And then we have this one. This one of Richie and Ruby is my favorite, of course. And we have this one here, which features Spike Lee directing, as he does. And if I flip it around, the next page is Liberty Heights. I got this one fairly recently, actually. This is another from Liberty Heights that I've had a little longer. And this one from Liberty Heights. And then we have 6 Ways to Sunday. Sorry, that bottom one is a bit of a spoiler. Bread and Roses, which also has a slide. Harrison's Flowers, which is in the same kind of slipcover I use for the movie posters. It came like that from eBay. And this one. This is from a press kit from The Singing Detective. There's Adrien down here with John Polito. This is the director, Keith Gordon, who you may recognize from the movie Christine. And this is Katie Holmes, who plays a nurse. Well, I thought that was it for the movie stills, and then I realized I still have this one from the French Dispatch. I have this in the back for some reason. This is the one I used to have in a frame on the shelf. It's autographed by Adrien in silver Sharpie. No, not in person. I have not met him yet. It was signed in Cannes, I believe, and it has a certificate of authenticity. And then there's also a little promotional postcard from the French Dispatch. I thought I would toss this one in here after the French Dispatch one. This is a page from a booklet about the pianist, and Adrien had signed it, also in silver Sharpie, and I believe also at Con. I don't have any kind of super secret sources or anything. Most of these are eBay. So you just kind of type in Adrien Brody headshots or press kit for a specific movie or something like that, and you should find this stuff. Now we come to some items from this binder that may surprise you, and they are comic books. That's right, I said I have Adrien Brody comic books. These are from Solo. Dark Horse put these out. This is issue 1 of 2. And this is 2 of 2. I will put in some still photos of Adrien's character in the comics. I like the tagline for Solo. Part man, part machine, total weapon. And then these comic books are from Predators. Hi, I'm continuing on with the scrapbook. Yes, it's a different day. So, among the what the heck things I own, this is a program from the Oscars the night he won the first one. It's got this wheel that you turn, and it has all the best pictures starting in the beginning with Wings until the current day. It's pretty sweet. So there's a list for performers. There's a list for nominations. Here we go. This is still the most insane thing to me. Listen to this. Performance by an actor in a leading role. Adrien Brody in The Pianist, Nicolas Cage in Adaptation, Michael Caine in The Quiet American, Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York, and Jack Nicholson in About Schmidt. So Adrien Brody beat out a category full of men who had won before. And Daniel Day-Lewis? Come on now. They should have etched that into the award. I beat Daniel Day-Lewis. That's a First Wives Club reference. I hope some of you got that. Best Motion Picture of the Year, the nominees were Chicago, Gangs of New York, The Hours, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Pianist. That's back when they only had 5 nominees. Now they do 10. But I'm just amazed, out of all these, Chicago won. I mean, I know Oscar historically likes musicals, but really? What do I know? I'm not an Academy voter. So along with this program came, I'll show you here. This is a schedule, a production schedule for the filming of the Oscars. It tells you what time the credential tent opens, flowers set for Winner's Walk, bleacher drapery installed. So it's just the schedule for the entire day. So this might have been like a production assistant or something who had this. They basically have individual call times for when everybody's supposed to be there. And I see we have Brendan Fraser down here. Call time 9:30 a.m., on stage 10 a.m. And here we have the list of everyone who was in the orchestra that night. And we have Bill Conti as the conductor. It's pretty cool. So it's basically, yeah, a schedule of when they were making the Oscars that year. So it's pretty sweet. It's just kind of some random magazine clippings about the Oscars and stuff. There's a picture of Adrien meeting Michael Jackson, which is still my favorite photo of all time, I think, because the amount of love I have for Michael Jackson, I can't even begin to tell you. So the fact that he and Adrien met, and the fact that Michael went to the film festival to meet Adrien, it's fantastic. It's another random thing in my collection. I guess a lot of this is pretty random. But within this scrapbook are these Japanese movie programs that I had started collecting at one point. And this one's for the jacket. Basically, they would put these out, I think, in the theaters when movies were coming out. So there's all these photos from the film. Ooh. Scandalous. Hope I don't get in trouble on YouTube for showing that one. In the center, it just kind of has all these photos from the film. So this one is for The Experiment. It's pretty sweet. We got our guy back there. The Experiment is a good film. It's just, it's hard to witness some of the treatment of some of the characters. It's a heavy one. So anyway, it's got all these nice photos with some details in Japanese, of course, because it's from Japan. I really like this shot of Travis in the mirror. That's pretty cool. This is another one of those Japanese film programs that I mentioned, but this one is way too large to fit in the scrapbook, so it's just kind of on the shelf on its own in between larger things to hold it up. Some lovely images. This scene is so touching when Vladek's youngest sister and his brother come back to the family and they're reunited. And, you know, they're all happy about it, but then Vladek's face, he's just like, oh no, you were safe where you were, kind of thing. I've always loved this moment where he's just sort of looking out the window. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you these. There used to be a seller on Etsy. I think she left. I can't find her, unfortunately. She used to do this Wes Anderson fan art, and so I got this set from the Darjeeling Limited. So this one here of the three brothers, and one of just Peter. And then there is one of Peter driving the motorcycle with his brothers aboard. I just really like the drawing style. There's also a Dimitri from the Grand Budapest Hotel. So yeah, those are pretty fun. I like those. So that's pretty much it for this binder, other than some random magazine clippings that are mostly just text. So I'm not going to pause and make you read an article. So I'm going to move on to some other press kit movie related stuff that I have back there on the shelf. We don't have too much left, so don't panic. It won't be a 45-minute video like the movie one. At least I hope not. Cut to it being like an hour long. So I have two press kits from films that are a little more complete. I didn't want to separate everything out into the scrapbook. I figured I might as well keep it packaged. So that's what these are. This is from Triumph Films. It's a press kit for the film Solo. And it has production information. And these are slides. He's right over there. I'll show you the photo of that that's also in here. This is a little packet of photos. So this is that photo that was on the slides. This is Adrien as Dr. Bill Stewart, and this is Barry Corbin, who you might have seen in several movies. Solo himself, Mario Van Peebles. If you're a Mario Van Peebles fan, you might want to get a hold of this press kit. Stills from the actual film. This is the director, Noberto Barba. This is William Sadler, who you've probably seen in some stuff too. And this is Sadie Lopez. And Mario Van Peebles again in full solo mode. Pardon me if you see my elbow a lot. My monitor is on my wrist, so I keep checking it to make sure things are in the frame. So basically this is a guide for the press on how to publish information about the film. If they want to include photos in reviews or whatever, and it tells them how to credit that kind of thing. Now we have the Angels in the Outfield press information kit. You gotta believe. Open it up here and we have another stack of photos like in the Solo one. We have Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Danny Glover. We have little baby Joseph Gordon-Levitt here. And this is Milton Davis Jr. as JP. Equally adorable. The manager of the team up here, and we have Roger and JP's foster mother down there, played by Brenda Fricker. Yep, there's a nice close-up of her. This is Brenda Fricker and Danny Glover. There's some more close-ups of the actors. Got a nice one of Tony Danza down there. And then it has a booklet with, you know, the technical information like the cast and crew, etc. So those are those. By the way, you know how people talk about the Mandela effect? Like they distinctly remember something and then they can find no proof of it? There was a photo, I swear to you, of Adrien Brody, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Tony Danza. They ran into each other at some sort of film festival and they took a photo together. And it was like this cute little mini Angels in the Outfield reunion. I cannot find that photo. It's like it's scrubbed from existence. So did I dream that photo exists? Somebody help me out here. If you have ever seen that photo and you know I'm telling the truth, leave a comment. So this is this lovely collector book for the pianist. Gorgeous photos in here. Great quality of shots. That page that I showed you that Adrien had signed in silver Sharpie, that came from this book. There's the non-signed version. And I know that's where it came from because it has the same thing written on the back. Oh, this is just a little box that Target sold that says New York City on it. And it's basically a storage box where you can put like valuables or whatever in. And in it, I have the Peter Jackson production diaries from King Kong that I got on their own at a used media store several years ago. But just a few months ago, I found the entire box set where this originated. So now I have 2 copies of this, but I got a bunch of other stuff too. And it's got this paper that is miraculously still on here. I'm hesitant to take that off, so I'm just going to pull it down. And then this pulls out of here. And then there's another slipcover. They packaged this safely. I'll give them that. This inner box inside of all that protective coating. This is just a straight up cardboard box. We have a certificate of authenticity and a limited edition number that was assigned to this box. There are a few of these really cool images. Trying to find a balance here with the lighting. This is Kong after he's run through the city and smashed up the cab that Jack was driving to lead him away from people. And this is the ship. I don't know if you can even see that. There you go. So, yeah, and here's Anne hanging from that thing that they had attached her to offer her to Kong. And then the actual production diaries are inside under there. So it says September 2004 to April 2005. So that's how long it took to make this movie. They probably had to do more in post after that April date. So that's that, production diaries. This is a book about the Grand Budapest Hotel. I believe this is the same author who wrote the Wes Anderson collection. And this was sort of a sequel he made after the Grand Budapest Hotel came out. So I don't own the Wes Anderson collection one yet, which would include the Darjeeling Limited, of course, and Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'm not sure if a book has been produced for the French Dispatch or Asteroid City yet, but I will check on that soon. Basically, it has these caricatures of the characters. Very cute. And then there's a lot of stuff in here. Wes Anderson talking about the films that inspired him to make this. This is all about how they built the model of the hotel. And here's one of our guy being filmed. Pretty sweet. I like this one. So that's kind of the gist. I won't show you the entire book because that would take too long, and I want you to be surprised if you ever get one for yourself. Okay, and this from the What the Heck department. There are also clothing items. Laszlo Toth shirt that I got from the A24 website. Nothing on the back. Also got from them. It has the Bauhaus style logo on the front. And then it's got this lovely, so it doesn't look purple, by the way. I have a purple fill light. So here, let me tilt it toward the white light. There you go. This is arguably the most what the heck thing in my collection. This is a replica Angels jersey for Danny Hemmerling. I found a website, I'll put the link in the description, that makes famous jerseys. Like they have the Rockford Peaches and stuff from A League of Their Own. And they had a couple of Angels in the Outfield characters. And I said, oh my gosh, do they have Hemmerling? And I looked and they did. So I ordered it. And the people who make it for you. It's fully custom. In fact, the man who owns the company messaged me when he found out where I lived, and he said, oh, can I offer you this lighter weight material because your area is so hot? And so I appreciated that, and yes, indeed, you can see it's a slightly thinner material so I don't sweat to death if I ever want to, cosplay as Danny Hemmerling. I was actually going to wear it to Oogie Boogie Bash, which is a Halloween event at Disney. But it was actually still too hot to wear it in October, so California. On your screen now, you should be seeing a shot of the Brody-related t-shirts that my husband bought me to wear on my channel. Oh, and I also have this one that my husband bought me to wear on my channel. Hint, hint. These are Mini-Mates characters. We have Final Battle Royce in his muddied up glory. We have the cloaked Berserker Predator, which is pretty cool actually. And then we have regular standard Royce and non-cloaked Berserker Predator. So yeah, apparently they also make a Final Battle Dutch and a Rescue Mission Dutch from the original Predator. And there's some Predator 2 figures. So yeah, apparently they have a whole collection of these. This is a King Kong mug I got at Universal Studios Hollywood in one of the gift shops. They have a 3D King Kong experience directed by Peter Jackson as part of the tram tour now. So that's what this is. So it's Andy Serkis's version of Kong holding a tram. It's pretty cute. I will dump this out. So this just became a bonus unboxing, I suppose. And I put them upside down so we can both be surprised. In the movie episode, I mentioned that I had more memorabilia coming, and this is what it was. We have the pianist. I cannot find a pianist movie poster in the size that I use on my wall. So I went ahead and got this. You see these lovely bars? Boom. Okay, so we have the pianist, and then we have, they're all stuck together because they're magnets. We have the jacket. These are really nice, solid. Restaurant, which I have never seen restaurant anything to buy before. Oxygen, which it's rare that someone's even heard of that, much less made merch for it. Love the Hard Way. Home at Last. Detachment. Bullet. And Clean. So they actually had a few more, but I didn't want to get too spendy. So I got these 9. Every third one was free and the shipping was free. So it's not as splurgy as it seems. So that's all the memorabilia. If you happen to miss part 1 where I did the DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, I'll put that right here. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'll put that right here. And if you'd like to visit my other channel, which is about movies in general, right there. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching.